This bad boy is Ford's work, and it's more American than ever. Most American thing ever. Put sports seats in a pickup truck. Wow. Oh my goodness. You can literally go camping. And what I love about this door is that it's super light. Yes, everyone, it is right here. The all-new Ford Ranger. This is the 4th generation Ford Ranger. Believe it or not, guys. Now, I'm going to tell you all something very, very important. But before doing so, I just want to point out that it's very interesting because it comes at a moment where environmental initiatives have become a very big deal. And so have electric cars. But it seems like some people have finally realized that it's not always about pleasing what the big crowd wants. Sometimes it's about sticking to your guns and sticking to what you do best. The point is, I've been craving to see a car that reminds me of the United States of America, something that's relatable, something that's a real Ford, something that's more American than ever, and it's right here. This is what I've been waiting for a long time. Now, I'm gonna tell you all about the history of the Ford Ranger. Now, the history of the Ford Ranger is very interesting. So, I don't know the year precisely, but I think it started around the 90s. It started in collaboration with Mazda. In fact, to this day, I'm not sure if it's to this day necessarily, but Ford and Mazda always had some small collaborations going on. But the thing is, the first ever Ford Ranger and the second generation as well, they were both based on Mazda platforms. In fact, they were rebadged Mazda pickup trucks, and that comes to a point where there was a time where when it comes to small-sized pickup trucks, it was the Japanese that were very dominant, especially with the Toyota Hilux, the Nissan Navara, and it all changed in the early 2010s, I believe. That was when Ford releases the 3rd generation Ford Ranger. The 3rd generation Ford Ranger was organically done by Ford. And when I say organically, I mean to say in the sense it was Ford's work. It was not Mazda's work. But in the Australian market, I recall there was a Mazda pickup truck, and I believe it still exists, and it's basically a rebadged Ford Ranger. So now the table has switched. Now it's Ford doing the Ranger by itself, and Mazda is the one relying on it for rebadging and everything. I don't know if this is the case about the 4th generation, but what we can definitely establish is that this bad boy is Ford's work, and it's more American than ever. Now, this Ford Ranger Raptor costs 67,000 euros, guys. Is this good value for money or not? Well, we're going to find out in a moment, everyone. Let's get on with the review right now. Now, guys, it is crucial I mentioned to you all that this is a Ford Ranger Raptor. Now, Raptor is a reference to the Ford F150 Raptor, which was originally sold in the North American market, but it could be imported here in the EU market through certain means. Was it worth it or not? Yes, in terms of aesthetics, I mean, it looked gorgeous and everything. In terms of off-road capabilities, you all be the judge. But here in the EU market, no, it was not really necessary to own one, but people bought one anyways just because of the looks. Now, it's become evident that this is Ford doing the same thing with the Raptor. Now they've given it a Raptor package. So basically, it has this Ford F150 reference to it. So, you know, the big wheels and then the certain design on the sides. I'm going to show you all in a moment what I'm talking about. Another thing worth mentioning, guys, is that Ford has earned a reputation for being very desirable to own and to drive. This has been the case with almost every Ford model. They're very fun to live with. But reliability has not always been their strongest point, and was the case with the Ford Ranger historically. Now, when I say Ranger historically, it's not with every single case. I've met certain owners who are proud of their Ford Ranger because of how reliable they are. And then I've also met certain owners who complained about electronics and such. Now, for reliability, we cannot discuss about it because it's a long-term process. You have to wait 3 years or 4 years in order to give a proper assessment of reliability. But now we can certainly talk about this Ford Ranger. Here is a 3-liter V6 Ford engine, guys. Wonderful performance and for off-roading, guys, if ever you need to go off-roading. Although here in the European market, does anybody really take their 4x4s for off-roading? The answer is no, but there's a good chance that you'll see this bad boy driving anyways because of the looks. All new Ford Ranger Raptor, everyone. Very interesting design. In fact, when I first saw it, I actually thought it was a facelifted version of the third generation, and but it's actually not, and I'm going to tell you all how. First of all, these are interesting. This is an interesting rear design. This rear design has more muscle to it, guys. It's really interesting. And then here you go, Raptor, written in this format. Oh, interesting rear lights, guys. There's no reference to the Ford F-150 whatsoever. It would have been interesting if there were more references, because here it looks a bit typical for every other pickup truck. The paint looks very nice. I like the quality of it. And then this is the front design. Now the front design is a direct reference to the other to the Ford F series pickup trucks. So I'm referring to the Ford F150, the Ford F250, the Ford F350. The list goes on, guys. You know it. So their headlights have become like this. Now when I first saw these headlights, the first thing that came in my mind was the 1960s and 70s, because those were the times when headlights of pickup trucks from the United States of America were always like squarish. From this angle, it has a vertical front. This is so cool. Now, in terms of aesthetics, this is really good, but in terms of aerodynamics, you're certainly not buying this truck for environmental values, so we're probably not even going to go there. You get a 360-degree parking camera, guys, and you get also parking sensors. Let's just take a moment and admire the tire of this bad boy, guys. This is real off-road tire right here, and this is a typical Raptor design. This is the exact same design you'll see on the Ford Raptor, the Ford F-150 Raptor. Now, from what I recall, the original Ford Raptor also had some shiny alloys like in the middle, but this is a matte black alloy wheel, so it's really interesting what's going on, and I love it, guys. The design, very, very interesting. Very good. It's very interesting. Like, look at these proud steps, guys. Wow. Gorgeous exhaust right here. This is like the first time I see a gorgeous exhaust for a pickup truck, guys. Wow. The most American thing ever. Now, if you look at the pickup truck from this angle, it actually looks more American than ever, because if you look at it, it's like it's got a really sharp edge there. So it's, you know, it makes it look like a Ford F-150 or something, guys. Looks very, very nice. This like proud front. And you get actual air vents right there, guys. I just love the setup of this headlight right here, guys. Whilst exploring the exterior of this Ford Raptor, Ford Ranger Raptor, I also noticed some questionable aspects, guys. And the first questionable aspect I would like to point out is that for a price of 67,000 euros, you get fake air vents right here. Like, what is the purpose of these air vents anyways? The questionable aspect I've noticed is that there's a lack of alignment between the bonnet and the bodywork. So the bonnet is more inwards compared to the bodywork. Like, look at this, guys. Look at this. See? There's a lack of alignment. The bonnet is more inwards. Questionable aspect I'd like to remark, guys, is that Ford is not new to the EU market. Ford knows very well the demands of the EU market. So I feel like the release of the Raptor came out at such a moment, the Ford Ranger Raptor, where by now everybody does, the culture of off-roading has slowly gone down. So whether these tires will ever see purpose or not, you all be the judge, but it is questionable, guys. I mean, these tires are good, but then they just increase fuel consumption, guys. So if environmental values is your thing, you know what to do, guys. Time to explore the interior of this Ford Ranger Raptor, everyone. Let's take a moment and take a look at how amazing everything is. I like the theme already, I see. So it's black and red. It's really nice. And then I like how you get seating adjustments with lumbar support. That's already pleasant. Take a look at these seats. The most American thing ever. Put sports seats in a pickup truck. Wow. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Oh, you have to admire this. So it's like black leather with red leather on the sides, some red leather lining, and some red stitching right here. And you get a touch of Alcantara right here, right there, and right there as well, and right here as well. So it's like a blend, guys. All right, everyone. So this is the interior of the Ford Ranger Raptor. Looks far more interesting than ever. Like, really, it does. Looks far more interesting than ever. I like the interior design, guys. So it's very interesting how they've gone about it. So it has some reference to the Ford Mustang Mach-E. And the reason I say this is because of the huge screen right here. Wow. That's like the first time I see a pickup truck with quite a fancy sat-nav. I mean, quite a fancy infotainment. Right, guys, so over here is your infotainment system, climate control right here, physical buttons, that's really good. And then you get your digital instrument cluster right there. Wonderful. And then you get your 4x4 modes here. So you get two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive low range, and then 4A. So judging by the A, I'm assuming it means automatic. Like they'll decide for you which is the best mode depending on the off-road terrain you're on. Oh, classic. Look at this, guys. Additional controls right here. But judging by this, I'm assuming this is supposed to say you can decide which terrain, or if you engage this, it directly decides for you which is the best system to use, judging by the terrain. Now, this sort of diagram is something familiar to me. I've seen it before. In fact, Range Rover and Land Rover were the ones that started this sort of concept, and now everybody is gone along with it. And it's interesting I say this because Ford owned Land Rover Jaguar until 2008, so I don't know if this is a direct reference to Land Rover Range Rover or if this is just an original thought. Or just steering wheel, guys. I just like the quality of it. It feels pleasant, actually. It's rather squidgy, nice to hold on to. It's a 4-spoke steering wheel and nice controls on it. Wow. Okay, I can imagine what these controls mean. Okay, I don't know what these controls mean, but I'm assuming this is for when the... What? There's even an exhaust button right there. Okay, is this supposed to make the car roar? I mean, if that's the case, then that's just very, very cool. And for those of you who are concerned about winter, look at the window. You'll see there are little strings there for the defrost system. So it's really good, guys. You're prepared. This is just like a typical American pickup, guys. This is like the most American thing ever. Have additional controls right up here. What? I don't know what these are for, guys. I'm not really sure, but I have a good feeling it's something to do with the lightings. Here's a nice storage space for your glasses. Let's just take a moment and admire the bonnet, guys. The view of the bonnet from here. Wow. Mirror control and window buttons right here, guys. And the central lock button is right there. There's an interesting trim right here that looks like Alcantara, but it's not Alcantara. But whatever it is, it's really good. And then also you get this gray trim right here. And then rest of the interior is hard plastic or black leather. Really nice, guys. You get a blend of trims going on around. And over here as well. Now, the presence of hard plastic is traditional for a pickup truck because it should be easy to wipe clean and easy to maintain. So, I wasn't really expecting anything fancy. Now, let's jump down to practicality. So, over here, you got a USB point, guys. Wireless recharge for your telephone. Micro storage space right there. Central console storage, which is quite decent. More decent than I was expecting. Wow. This is so good. And a 12-volt socket in there. That's very good. Better than I had thought. Nice handle right here to hold on to when the ride gets bumpy. Then, additional storage space over here. Average for a pickup truck. Additional storage space right here. So, yeah, it's really good. Now I'm going to show you all something really cool Ford has done. Yes, additional storage space up there. The best thing ever, guys. Ford has made use of maximum space. That's really good. Now let's take a look at the door bin. But before doing so, I want to show you all something really cool. This has to be the coolest door handle I've ever seen. Is it just me, or does Ford have really cool door handles these days? Like, they did that with the Ford Mustang Mach-E, and they used to have this with the Ford Mustang in the 60s, guys. Really interesting door handles these days. Now, door bin. So over here, I'm assuming you can fit a big water bottle. I'm not sure. But I like how it goes all the way until there. Alrighty, guys. Gorgeous pickup truck. I love it. But then, unfortunately, I also noticed some questionable aspects. And I'm going to point them out to you all right now. So, despite how promising it is, I love the design. But I always knew that Ford never had the best of quality. Like, when it comes to how solid or how well built it is, that was where Ford did have questions. And this Ford Ranger is no exception. Alright, I'm going to open and close the door a few times, so... And there's always a lot of vibration happening in this interior. Check this out. I'm as gentle as I can be, and then every time I close the door, there's always vibrations coming from this direction, guys. Like, some sound. I have to try this again. There's a lot of vibrations throughout this interior every time I close the door gently. And I'm saying this because I drive a pickup truck. I drive a Nissan Navara, and I've been in various pickup trucks, and I never had this experience before. I close the door as fast as I want, whether it's slow, whether it's fast, and the interior always maintains composure. But in this Ranger, the interior vibrates a lot. The presentation is very promising, but there's something really odd about the stitching right here, guys. The stitching moves. And I noticed the same thing about the other side, guys. Now it's time to explore the rear seats of the Ford Ranger Raptor. Alright guys, so I have a lot of legroom. My knee room is good, but it's very close to the driver's seat. And this can be the same case for the passenger front seat, but it depends on seating adjustments after all. Guys, my headrest is good, but it's a bit on the firm side. Otherwise, my headroom is good. Got a handle right here, handle right there, and a beacon of hope right here. And you get a 230 volt socket right there. A USB point right there, and no climate control. I guess the climate control is directly from the front. Well, that's a common practice amongst pickup trucks. I mean, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting much. In terms of practicality, everyone, you get a rear seat pocket here, a rear seat pocket there, and it's as good as it has to be. Over here, you get a door bin, guys. The door bin is actually quite appropriate for its price and segment. There's no such thing as boot space when it comes to pickup trucks and the world of utility vehicles, everyone. In the world of utility vehicles, there is a such thing such as payload capacity and tow payload capacity. So over here you get your trailer hitch hook, everyone, and judging by that massive engine, just like every typical American pickup truck has amazing towing capabilities, but sometimes it's not enough to have good towing capabilities alone. Sometimes it's just enough for everyone to just have good payload. And here it is, everyone. Oh my goodness, you can literally go camping. Look at this. Whoa, I like the material it's lined with. Very good. Very good, everyone. Now, let's see what lies over there. Wow. The most American thing ever. Give as much details to... in the name of utility. I've never seen this much details before. That's why I'm a bit shocked, guys. I never saw this in other pickup trucks. Or maybe it's because the pickup trucks here in Europe are very Eurocentric, so it's not really like, you know, they have that much purpose or anything, rather than just pulling trailers or going off-roading. Whereas American pickup trucks, they see more purpose, I feel. Very interesting. And what I love about this door is that it's super light when you push it up, guys. It's like almost as if there's a hydraulic or something that's pulling it up. Like, check this out. See? Like, around this angle, it goes automatically. It's like I don't need to have too much force when closing this rear door. Here's my conclusion of the Ford Ranger Raptor, everyone. I have to say that this is a very big step ahead for Ford, and this is a new chapter because this is the 4th generation Raptor, and it's the only pickup truck here in the EU market that still continues to enjoy success. They have seen massive popularity compared to other competitors, the European competitors like Volkswagen Amarok, and then also you have the Japanese competitors, Nissan Navara, Toyota Hilux, and the Mitsubishi L200. But Ford beats them because Ford has one thing additional: character. Ford has an identity, but there's one downside Ford has that the Japanese don't have: reliability issues, guys. Ford Ranger did suffer reliability problems, but then that does not mean it stopped being famous, guys. It continues to enjoy fame, and it is now, from here, I talk about what I think, guys. This is a really promising start for Ford, guys, especially with the Ranger. It's more promising, and it looks more American than ever. It reminds me of the United States of America, guys. The bustling city of New York, the gorgeous countrysides of Texas and Washington State, and also the wonderful beaches of California and Florida. The list can go on forever, guys. The point is, you just have to admire how much Ford has invested in this. Ford has realized that Eurocentric models were not appealing enough. People wanted authenticity. People want identity. And so now Ford has reacted on this. But it's not enough to just have identity when we talk about value for money, guys. For a price of 67,000 euros, is this Ford Ranger good value for money or not? You know what, everyone? I think this Ford Ranger is good value for money. And the reason why I say this is because, first of all, I have to say Ford has invested a lot of effort in details, and I also like the equipment you get with this Ford Ranger. The interior looks like the Ford Mustang Mach-E almost, and I love it. I love the quality of the materials. Very, very, very good, guys. But then at the same time, for 67,000 euros, do you really need a pickup truck with off-road tires? You all be the judge, but it's pretty much for the same reason someone would buy a Mercedes G-Wagon, or for the same reason someone would buy a V12 engined vehicle. What my point is? My point is environmental initiatives. This is the car to buy if basically you just want it for the looks. Unless you live in the countrysides where the roads are not very friendly. Wait, but here in Belgium, in the countrysides, the roads are unfriendly, and yet people tend to drive French cars. So there's no purpose for a 4x4 basically. Who cares, everyone? Just get this car and enjoy it for what it is. Now, this Ford Ranger Raptor also does have some questionable aspects, guys. Like the quality of the interior. There's some things that were a bit loose, alright? And then also, I feel like it could have done with some additional equipment. I did say it was well equipped, guys. I did say this, but 67,000 euros, I would have expected a little bit more. But then again, you all be the judge. At least sunroofs would have been nice, but there was no sunroof whatsoever. On my humble opinion of this Ford Ranger Raptor. Oh, I love this Ford Ranger Raptor, guys. This is one of the best pickup trucks ever. More American than ever. Just what I was craving for, guys. I love it. But the question is, do you really need one here in Belgium? Because the roads are rather nice. I mean, well, the thing is, the roads are well built, and you see, it's like environmental initiatives have become a thing throughout the EU market, guys. And the thing is, I feel like this pickup truck is good, but it came out at the wrong place at the wrong time, if you know what I'm saying. But then, I guess people drive Mercedes G-Wagons, people drive V12 4x4s and sports cars and Ford Mustangs and, you know, all sorts of cars that have proud emissions. But then the difference is these cars are equipped with the appropriate tires and everything. This bad boy has off-road tires, literally. And is anyone ever going to use this for utility purposes? Okay, well, only time will tell. You all be the judge. Please let me know what your thoughts are, everyone. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. If you stick to a trim level that's below the Raptor, like if you just avoid the Raptor package, stick to a lower trim level, make it road-friendly, this is the pickup truck for you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run, guys. And please let me know in the comments what your thoughts are of this Ford Ranger Raptor. Do you like the Ranger Raptor, or do you all prefer the more American pickup trucks like the Ford F150? Or do you prefer competitors? Let me know your thoughts, guys. And don't forget to check the links in the description for my car reviews, travel videos, and my creativity videos. Alright, see you all around, and take care.